Good morning, everybody. It's Belinda here, and it's the time of month for Joey the card maker, his challenge. Oh, I love the papers he's been putting out, and this is the kit for September. It is a freebie over on Joey Cardmaker's Ko-fi page, so the links will be in the description box. You can go ahead and pick it up for yourself and print it out and have a good old play with it. For September, the colour is, I would call it orange. It's autumn rust is what Joey has called it. Let's have a little look through. So this is the title page, and the kit is 5 pages, not including the title page. But I like to print the title page as well. Just, that's good collage fodder, and it's pretty to look at, and it helps me remember all the details. So this is the fussy cuts for the kit. Got these beautiful little images here, so romantic, just divine. This gorgeous wee pussycat, love that wee tabby, ginger tabby, and then other bits and pieces, butterflies, labels, etc. Fun bits to play with. And then there are the papers. Now the papers come in 2 designs per sheet, and I have already cut mine out, so like they come on the page like that, and I've just cut all the white off from around the edge that my printer leaves, and I've cut them in half because my project today, I needed these to be separated into their separate designs. So those 2, this beautiful floral, love that very vintagey, old, lovely aesthetic, and then that crumpled creased paper, beautiful. Somehow I think I've got these upside down. Then this one, kind of like a wallpaper design, that's all lovely and distressed. And this, which is roses, I think, or some sort of floral anyway, with beautiful textures. Just the colours are so rich and vibrant. They are stunning. Then this wood one, wood print, and another floral. So they are beautiful, beautiful papers. I can't wait to get playing with them. So let's get started. So cutting these panels into their individual portions to start with, what I've done off camera. And I'm going to use a compass. You don't have to use a compass if you want to replicate what I'm doing today. You could find a dish, a lid, something large enough that's going to go all the way across. And we're going to create curves. So first off, I want to choose which paper I want to start with. Maybe this one to start with, and I'll grab out that one. I might do both of these. So I'm first off going to find my midpoint on the paper. So depending how you print yours out, your midpoint might be a different dimension to mine. So I'm not going to bother giving you dimensions. Just line it up on something, a ruler or your mat if you have one, and find the midpoint. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So halfway between that is my midpoint. And I'm going to put it on that spot and work out how big I need to create a curve that goes right across. And I'm going to go there. That looks pretty good to me. Now here is where I think I need to turn my paper over. So I'm drawing on the white side. It's going to make it a little easier on myself. So just make sure I get that paper back in the same place as I had it. Should have thought about that to begin with, but never mind. Right, so that's my midpoint. Right, just needed to use both hands for a moment. And it doesn't have to be directly center of your bit of paper. You can do it higher or lower. Just pick a point and draw a half circle. Oops, I just did what I didn't want to do and started closing my compass. And I actually want to keep it so I can do others at the same. There we go, reset it. Don't close the compass. Okay, now I'm going to cut along that line. Actually, I've just had a thought that might be easier. Okay, we'll do it on the next one. We'll do this one the hard way because, you know, why not? If we can do something the hard way, why not? Then we can go ahead and do it the easy way the next time. So just cutting along that curved line. And you're left with two halves, both with a curve in it, a different curve. And so with this, a directionless paper does help, because if this was a direction, if this was a pattern that was this way, for example, we're going to turn it upside down and use it this way, which means the pattern would be upside down. So choosing a paper that's not directional, for example, this one that has more of a direction to it might not work so well for this particular part of the project. Just having a sip of my coffee. I just got a slightly scratchy, froggy throat this morning that comes and goes, so just make sure I keep fluids up. Now, these are going to be pockets, and I do like to reinforce the top of my pockets, and that's the easy, hard bit. So for this one, I'm going to do it the hard way. And grab out a scrap of paper. Just trying to think how deep I need it. Okay, it doesn't need to be particularly wide, which is good. And I'm going to draw that same arc, hopefully. On this. I think the easy way is definitely going to be way, way easier than what I'm doing here. This may not actually work that well, but I can show you what not to do. Oh yeah, plenty of what not to do's. Okay, and that can go and reinforce the top right there. So this one's going to work actually okay, I think. The other one could be a little bit more problematic, but we shall see. So I've just recreated that same shape on a offcut of plain paper. I'm just going to line it up here to match the curve. Doesn't need to be perfect, just I would say don't let it peep over the edge, because otherwise you're going to see the white on the front. So just gives that little bit of strengthening to that top edge. This one, like I was saying, could be a little harder. Right, grab another strip of paper. Come here. And it doesn't need to go side to side because we are going to be creating gussets as well. So I would rather it come further down to give that strength. So think about there. Give it as much room as I can. Okay. Now that's wrong, because I've got very little actually showing there. So let's flip it over and try again. So I need to come up the top. I need more space here, so I need to trim it. No, that's not working. Let's go. Okay. It's a bit of a head one, isn't it? It's got my head going. Confusing myself. I will show you the easier way for sure. So first up, I'm giving you a lesson on how not to go about things, how to make life difficult for yourself. So that's going to go there. And I'm just going to trim off these end bits. Like so. Now we can glue that on. See, this first one I did, this little section here would have been all that was actually reinforcing, which is not enough to adequately do the job. So I was getting myself tied up in knots. But I got there eventually. And this is a good way to use up those offcuts of cutting out digitals. Try not to waste them. Some I don't keep, like, because, you know, if you're cutting out interesting shapes, they're not really usable for anything else, but these straight strips are definitely usable. Okay, so that one is now reinforced. So I'm going to give these gussets, just a little bit of a gusset. Try and fold it straight. And then we've got this little peak up here, so we need to come in and give that a mitre so that it disappears. And I need to give that a little bit more of a trim. Oops, just about cut my finger there. Got in the way. Okay, so just double checking, and that looks good. A little bit of ink will take care of any white that still shows. Now here I would recommend that you try and get the gussets even on both sides to retain symmetry. If you have them vastly different, then your pocket curve is going to be offset, which is perhaps not the desired look. So give this a mitre as well. And check it, and yep, all good. And also mitre at the bottom. I'm not going to do a bottom gusset. I think just the side ones for these. You could do a bottom one if you want. And you do it the same way, and then take out the corners. So where if you did a bottom one and folded it up, then you'd end up with a corner between the two folds, and you just take out that corner with a mitre cut. Hopefully that makes sense. Most of you probably know how to do that anyway. So there we've got one pocket. Just grab out a sample journal page. Isn't that lovely? And just decorate it up with some of those pieces from the kit or other things from your stash. I haven't actually mentioned, this is mashupjoey. That's the name of the challenge. And so if you do the challenge using Joey's papers, please use the hashtag so Joey can see what you've made. Because I think that's really, really lovely for any designer if you can let them know what you've made, you know, through social media. So they get to enjoy it. Because put a lot of hard work into creating these things, and these ones that Joey's doing are free. So he's using his own time and resources to create beautiful things for us. The least we can do is allow him to see them if you're on social media. You know, obviously if you're not, well, that's fine. But if you are and you use it, then use a tag, mashupjoey. And yeah, he would love to see, I'm sure. And there is another pocket. So out of one pattern, we've got two different shaped pockets. And I was just thinking about how I wanted to use these papers. And I love curves. I love circles. And I just thought it's a little bit different, a little bit fun and cute. But there is a further step that I want to do. So I want to make a journal card or tag to go in, probably journal card, I think at this stage. And I'm wondering, do I want to actually glue this onto the page? So I'm pairing these digitals with coffee dyed paper, because I think like the coffee dyed just works beautifully with these. Just might grab out maybe a diary page that's coffee dyed up. Do I want to center it? I think I probably want to center it. I'm going to glue this one on so we can, you know, do like a finished project hopefully. Yeah, I'll go with this one. It doesn't really matter which one I use. I could put one on the front and one at the back, because in a signature they would be separate from each other. So maybe I should do that. In fact, I might. So just glue on those gussets and then a liner glue at the bottom to close the bottom of the pocket. Now I'm not putting it right at the bottom, I'm just lifting it up slightly from the bottom of the page, just preference. Okay, and let's go ahead and put the other pocket maybe on this page. So by the time it's got other pages in between, they're going to be, you know, they're not going to be next to each other. I might just give a quick little erase of those pencil lines, just in case somebody peeps inside the pocket. These would look lovely distressed. I haven't taken the time to distress, but you certainly can, and I normally would. To be honest, I just got eager and glued the pocket on before I even thought about, oh, I should have inked. But never mind, it's okay. They are perfectly beautiful without the ink as well. So for you, those of you who don't ink, that's good news, isn't it? All right, and then that one is going to go there. Again, just lifting it up slightly from the bottom of the page, which again is just a preference thing. Okay, lovely. Oh, they're so pretty, just like that. Just as they are super. Now, for the journal card, I'm wondering, do I want to use one of these? Trim it down a bit. But I think I might. It'll offset the center pattern. Maybe this one might be better. Yep, let's go this one. So I'm going to just kind of eyeball, line it up, and we're going to go about there. So I'm going to end up with some cool scraps, which doesn't upset me. Turn it around the other way, I think. Yeah, like look at that pretty scrap. Isn't that fun? Okay, and I need to chop the top down a bit as well. So I'm going to go about there. Actually, this could be more of a tag, I guess. But I've got something in mind for the top. Okay, so another fun little scrap. It does need backing. We need to give it a little bit more thickness. I've printed on presentation paper, so it's not super thin, but I feel like it could do with just a little something. And like, look at that coffee dyed. Isn't that pretty? That will look beautiful on the back and create an interesting writing spot. So let's do that. So my usual 2 glue method. Oops, just got a clump of glue there. Let's just clean that up. and then use the tacky glue around the edges. I was on a real mission earlier this year, throughout autumn and winter, to coffee and beetroot dye as many papers as I could, because I typically run out before the next lot, and I try and do it during those cold times so I can dry it on the fire, which I just think is a wonderful utilization of that warmth. You know, I don't have to run the oven or wait for hours for papers to dry. So I did heaps, and now I'm thinking, did I actually do enough? Because I'm using more, because I've got this perception that I did more, so I've got more to use, so I'm going through it quicker than normal. And I was like, this is interesting. I might run out, and then I'll just have to do more, you know, not wait till next cold season, and that would be okay. I just have to change my drying method. But yeah, it's funny, isn't it? You do more so you have a bigger stock available, and then you use it more often because you perceive that you have more, and then end up running out again. You know, I'm nowhere near running out, but we're only just in spring. I still have plenty, but I'm thinking, am I actually going to use it up too fast? I don't know, just the musings, just random thoughts that come into my head, because I'm certainly being a lot freer with the use of it than what I typically am. And it's great. It's so great to have a plentiful stock. Oops, that's not straight. Let's try that one again. I've really struggled today with getting things straight. I was using my big guillotine, and I think because I use it sitting down and I can't see, I really should stand over it so I can see the alignment, and I'm forever cutting things crooked with it. So really I need to stand when I'm using it. Would, I think, be a lot more effective. Right, okay, so we've got our journal card or tag, whatever. Just trying to clear off the shrapnel. Do I want rounded corners? I think I do. Hopefully that glue is dry enough not to cause any issues for me. We shall see. Now I do want to ink around this. I should give you an update on my shoulder too. My shoulder is a lot better than it was. I was trying to work out how to phrase it. It's not better, like it's not healed, but it is better than what it was. And so I had a physio appointment yesterday, and you know, it's $52 a pop for the physio, and I've been 3 times or 4? 3, I think. No, 4. I've been 4 times. And I said to her, look, I'm going to have to stop coming because it's a big expense to sustain, and it is improving. And she was happy with that. She was happy with progress. I've got a lot more movement, a lot less pain, and I'm not getting the stabbing sharp pains that I was getting. She said it feels a lot looser, a lot freer. My range of movement's increased. So she gave me a new set of exercises, kind of switched up, dropped out some of my previous ones, gave me some more. And I can always go back, like if I need to, if it gets worse or it just stops improving or something, I can go back. But for now, I've just got to be good, do my exercises, be gentle with it. I am back to lifting heavy things, and it does flare it up, but not as badly as it was. So I just need to be conscious of it, give it time, not try and do, you know, ask too much of my shoulder and my arm. And yeah, hopefully, given time, it will settle back down and just like be normal. That would be wonderful if it was just back to normal. So I'm pleased because I'm not typically a fast healer, so I feel it's actually done pretty well, because they can take a long time. Rotator cuff tears can take a long time to heal, and I feel like it's doing okay. So that's good. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Ah, I love that. But I have a plan for the top. Now, you know how I was worried about resetting the compass? Well, I'm going to because I realized I need to. So I'm going to use one of the other papers. Do I want to use or grab something else? We might want something a bit contrasty maybe, or no, not that. Ugh. That was not the right thing. Let's have a wee fossick in my scrap bag. Well, I'll have a fossick. You can't see it. My apologies. Because it's just too hard to get into. Oh, what about book page? I was thinking, what colour can I go with? And how about a bit of book page? Just trying to grab my book here down beside my desk. This is Spanish. Grab a page. And so I'm going to reset my compass, or do I have something else? I think that might be a bit big. Maybe not. Let's give it a go. Sorry, I'm being very indecisive here. I do apologise. So I'm going to draw a circle with this little dish. Might be a little on the big side, but we'll see. Cutting around a set. Whoops, went a bit wonky there. Trying to rush it. It's going to be an imperfect circle, totally. Okay, here we go. Right, going to fold it in half. Oops, it's not straight. The text is crooked, but that's okay. Now I want to actually cut this in half. So I'm going to use my craft knife, I think. I could tear it. Do I want to tear it? I could tear it. No, I'm going to use a craft knife. Here we go. And we're going to turn it into a tab. But do I ink now? Yes, I will ink now. If I folded it in half and then slipped it over top, then we're going to end up with these points here, which is not the look I was after. Totally. Now which side? I'll ink this side. Not the look I was going for. You can totally do that if you prefer or if you want to, and not cut it in half. But I want the circle part at the top. And you could also use a punch if you've got a large enough punch. You could do this, or just make it smaller. Use a 1 inch or a 2 inch circle punch. You just have a small circle at the top. I wanted a nice generous one, is what I was after. So I'm just going to attach this first. Just putting glue on the bottom portion. And centering it. Actually, I also want it straight, so I'll use my mat to try and line it up. So I'm going to go about there. Okay, and I'm going to ink this one. Okay, and now I can put glue on this whole piece and we'll line it up and hope it matches. Bearing in mind, I did not cut it out perfectly. So ink covers a multitude of errors or oopses. Okay, so, and it's upside down, which is fine. I don't mind upside down text. If that bothers you, then cut 2 circles and have one, or have them both up the same way. Will work. That's pretty darn good. There's just a slight little bit, very, very small bit where it's not matched up properly, but very, very minimal. I just think that's really fun. Something a little different. And it just works within the height of my journal page, which is fortunate because I didn't double check. Now we can put something decorative in here. Is there anything in the fussy cuts that I would like to put there? She might be quite lovely. I mean, they would all be lovely. We could put something vertical. I don't want to cover up all of this, you see. That's my problem. I love it. It's pretty. So I don't want to cover it all. Maybe this one. I think I need to cut it out and have a look. And I also think I need it as a circle. Now, I don't have a big enough circle punch. My biggest one, which is very dusty, and excuse me, I just dropped. This is my biggest one. So it's only 2 inches or something like that, 1 3/4. I can't remember. So my option is to, back to the compass, let's squeeze it up. I'm probably not going to get more than this one done anyway, so I can reset it to do more off camera. I'm going to try see where I can place it to get her face in, but without getting the white border. I think that's it. Going in. Just going to cut a piece out of it. Made a slight dent in her face with the point of the compass. The downside of using a compass, but it's barely noticeable. Gave it a little press out with my thumbnail and it's fine. Could turn it into a beauty spot. I'm concentrating. Can you tell? I bet you can, because there was silence on the airwaves. Right, sipping my coffee. Yeah, a little bit scratchy in the throat. It makes me wonder whether I'm starting to get something, and I better not be. I'm way too busy to be going through that sort of nonsense. Might just be this like cold hot days, like it's warm outside and it's cold inside, and I'm cold at the moment. It might just be that, hopefully. Just a temporary little inconvenience of temperature changes. Okay, a little bit of ink, and I think that's going to be just quite lovely there. So sorry for cutting your image here apart, Joey. Beautiful image. All of these I can see I'll be reprinting and using in other projects because they're just so pretty. In fact, wouldn't they make a great journal? Like all the different colours of these kits used in one journal. I might have to try that. I just might. It'd be like a celebration of, because they're all very romantic feel images, and I think just, oh, I want to do that. I don't know when. Don't know when I'll get the time. Probably wait till at least all the kits are out. I think there's 6. Is that right, Joey? 6 in total. And this is number 3. So halfway through. Oh, I love that. Just something different. Do we want a word or something? Maybe. Enduring seems like it might be a nice word to partner with that. And it's on coffee dyed paper. Just going to kind of try and straighten it up a little bit because it's not stamped straight on the paper. I don't know if I'm making it better or worse actually, but who knows. Do I want to layer it up with something? We did have those offcuts, didn't we? Buried them. Let's try and unbury them. Oh, they're actually the same paper, aren't they? But does that matter? Yeah, it kind of does really. It needs to be something different if we're going to do that. No. What about a bit of book page? Let's tear a piece out and try it. Does that cover up too much of that prettiness? Oops, don't go upside down. Maybe it's a little bit too much. I'm like a little mouse nibbling at cheese. It's like, take a little bit off, take a little bit more off, bit by bit. Maybe a little bit shorter. I just don't want to cover over all this prettiness down the bottom, but I do want to add something. Okay, we're going to do that. A bit more ink. And around the word as well. Layering, layering, layering. A lot of what we do is layering, isn't it? Different textures, different papers, different patterns. All builds to something rather wonderful. Griselda. Someone's name there, Griselda. It's not a name. Oh, cat fur on my fingers in the glue. Not a name you hear a lot of, is it? Not in New Zealand anyway. It's kind of a name that I've heard perhaps in fairy tales or something like that. Enduring. There we go. And I think that's all I want to do with that. I want to celebrate that beautiful paper. It's pretty. You could actually write on it as well if one wanted to. I would leave it, personally, if it was in my journal, I would leave that because it's just pretty. And there's writing space on the back. Now, do we want to put something in here? Just wondering. Because it is a mashup, so you're supposed to use things out of your own stash. And while Joey has butterflies in the printable, I'm thinking about using, like that right there, something out of my stash, other than coffee dyed paper and book page. I think that works well there. Just going to glue it on. And it's orange, but it's a very much more muted orange, so I think it works well and just provides a calmness, I guess, like, because there's lots of beautiful, striking, bold, happening things, and then we've still got interest, but it's just a little bit softer, a little bit calmer on the eyes for the writing space. Okay, so that's there. We could also decorate this, but how are we going time-wise? We're getting on with time. I realise we've still got this pocket here. Is there anything we want to quickly put on that pocket? Oh, I love the pussycat. I've got to use the pussycat somewhere, don't I? Because it's just gorgeous. And I think it's with that dark background, it's probably got enough strength to be carried off against that floral. So I think we'll use it either on this pocket or the second pocket. Let's cut it out first and have a wee look what we think. Oh, that wind outside has calmed down for the moment. It's been quite noisy. And we've had a lot of wind-driven rain. So it's been blue sky, but it's been raining, which means we had a beautiful rainbow out there earlier on. But for now, the rain stopped and the wind seems to have died right back. You like it there? Actually, it might be a bit there. Feel like it needs a plain something behind it. We could use like this, but I'm thinking something even plainer. I don't know if I have anything to hand. I've got this cardstock here that I picked up cheap at an op shop, but I don't think there's orange. No, I don't think I want, no, none of those colours in there are going to suit. Oh dear, what am I going to do? I want to put something behind. Have we got something in my flow book that might work? Oh, like one of these very thin papers maybe. Oh, no, there's no orange in there, and no other colour there that might. Yellow. going to do this without actually ripping it out because I don't know if I want to use it yet. So I'd rather leave it in the book until I know for sure that I want to use it. Actually, that works. Okay, let's go yellow then. Now tear it out without making a mess would be interesting. Find the perforation. Oh, I don't know. Where is it? Might just have to go for it and hope for the best. Maybe there is no perforation on this. It'll flatten out. It'll be fine. Okay. I haven't seen any flow books for paper lovers in New Zealand in a long time. And I know they stopped doing their magazine in other countries, but I didn't know that they'd stopped the flow book for paper lovers, and I would love to get one. I've only got that one book, and I got it secondhand, unused, secondhand for a really good price. And it's definitely in my hoardyville. I am trying to use it as evidenced here, but it's still tough. I still find it really hard to use. I think I'll just go tacky glue, I think. Just be quick and easy. Because it's just full of beautiful things, beautiful papers. And I turn to it when I'm struggling to find something for a project that will work. And 9 times out of 10, it provides me with exactly what I need. Case in point. I thought I needed orange, but actually the yellow works well. I was also thinking black might work, and it would, but I found this yellow and it does actually work, so we're going with yellow. Just leaving a little, just a little border around it. To provide a little bit of relief from the background. Oops, a bit wonky. That's all right. Now, do I want it on this one or do I want it on this one? Oh, I don't know. I think I'll put it there. I think that's where I prefer it. Hubby's workmate sent my hubby home last night armed with tissue paper. Beautiful tissue paper that he had been about to pack a item with. They'd got it in from a parcel that they received at their work, and he was about to use it to package something up to send out. And he stopped and said to my hubby, would Belinda like this? And Shane was like, yes please. And it's 4 large pieces of tissue paper. 2 are kind of a peachy colour leopard print. One is, I can't remember the pattern, but it's a different pattern. And then there's one that I'm not so fussed on. It's skulls, and it's got pink in it and black and white, and it's interesting, but it's not my thing. But I'm not going to say no. So 4 very large sheets of crumpled, partly torn tissue paper, just super cool. Particularly the leopard print, I think is really fun. I just can't remember the other pattern. It's a bit bolder, the other pattern, and a bit darker, but yeah, super fun. Okay, so we need maybe a journal card in this pocket, and I'm thinking to go with something a bit pared back in terms of pattern. So let's go with this one. Go here first. And take about an inch or so off. Maybe an inch and a half. Have a fun scrap. And these dates and everything will be covered. I don't leave those because most times they don't actually work for the person who's going to use the journal. The date will be completely wrong. So I do cover those with something decorative. Okay, I like that. I like that sort of more plainer, shall we say, pattern. It's certainly not plain by any stretch. It's got lots of beautiful texture going on, but it's not super busy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to use the same paper because why not? Just scrap here. Do we want to use the plain side as opposed to the stenciled side? Just so it's a bit different to the other one. Yeah, why not? We'll use the plainer side. I'm kind of like, that's a waste of that stenciled pattern, but I've got more. Most of what I'd coffee dyed over autumn and winter this year was stenciled. So I've got plenty of patterned papers. If anything, I probably shortchanged myself on plain ones. But there's always the reverse side, so it's fine. Oops, off the paper. It helps it stick, doesn't it? Stick to everything you don't want it to stick to. Give it a smush down. If I hand cut it, then I'm not going to notice whether it's straight or crooked, so I won't get so finicky with it unless I can see that it's off with my eyeballs, in which case it would be significantly off. Right, okay, just grab out the corner rounder again, aka the envelope punch board. That glue is nowhere near dry enough, but oh yeah, no, it did not like that. It jammed on me because that glue is wet as. We sip of my coffee while I give it a moment to dry. I just got a glimpse of the time and it is lunchtime. My goodness. Time has flown fast. Right, that felt better. Sometimes it's only just like seconds that it needs to be all good. But obviously that first one was not good. It was wet. Okay, got some bubbles in there. Just need to give it another smush down. There we go. It's a bit better. I will ink around it, but I'm not going to take the time now because we are almost out of time. I'm thinking one of these, I think this one, on this journal card. I'm rushing now. I know we are almost out of time, and conscious that it's lunchtime for me, and I am hungry. What's for lunch today? Leftovers from last night, which is pork and apple sausage with vegetables, and I made an apple and onion and sage gravy to go with it. So we've got that on it as well. So quite looking forward to that. So I think in the middle. Yeah, so she's looking down and the cat's looking this way. Yep, I like that. Do I want yellow behind her as well? This beautiful thin... Oh yes, let's frame her out. Okay, you've convinced me. You twisted my arm up behind my back. Is that why my shoulder and my arm's so sore? You guys have been twisting it up behind my back, making me do things. I know. You haven't at all. I'm just being funny, or trying to be. Don't know whether you find me funny at all, but I amuse myself, and that's okay. Right, the risk of cutting this crooked again, or wonky. Crooked and wonky, same thing, right? I'm just saying the same thing, two different ways. I think what I mean is more uneven, and that I've gone in and out, and like on the cat I actually had a little bit where I went out a bit, and I could tell, but I just left it. Like hand cut, handmade. Oh yeah, I'm happy with that. And I'm actually gluing inside the picture, not on the edge of the tissue paper, because I don't want the glue to show through, and I don't mind it having a little bit of looseness around the edge, bit of texture really. So I'm keeping that glue line inside the image. Because that tissue is thin. Right, dead center is where I want it. Bit curly with the glue, it will flatten out. Okay, do we want... I like this number 7. I don't know why number 7, Joey, but number 7 works for me. It's fun. There's probably no real reason or rhyme to it. It's just a cool number on a cool background. Because a lot of what we do in junk journaling when we're composing something like this has no rhyme or reason. It just is fun, it looks cool and interesting, and that's all it needs to do, is look good, you know, and according to you, you know, you don't have to make it look good for others. If you like the look of it, then there will be plenty of other people that will like the look of it too. Don't get worried about, you know, oh, I like it but nobody else is going to, because there will be people out there who like your style for sure. Come on, there we go. I'm just putting a 7 on it because I want to, and because Joey provided us with it. Go. And do I want anything else? Maybe one of these wee labels. We're almost done, people. We're almost out of time. If I end up going a minute or two over, I do apologise, but I want to finish this up. We're almost there. I'm I'm trying to be as quick as I can without making an error of unforgivable proportions, according to myself. It's like, well, I just ruined that. I don't want that to happen. I'm really happy with how everything's shaped up. I actually like that over there and sideways as opposed to vertical. I think it's supposed to go vertical, but I think also is fine sideways. Normally I'd put 3 pieces, but I'm quite happy just with those 2. I think it's interesting. And she is the third. We're just going to call her the third piece. Okay, so there we go. There is 2 pockets with curves, using 1 bit of paper to create the 2 pockets. Just an interesting variation on a pocket. And then a journal card in that one, and a journal card with a circle topper on it for that one. And we haven't decorated this up, but I will probably find something either from here or something else that I like to go with it. But for now I'm calling it done because we're out of time. I love it. Thank you so much for these beautiful papers, Joey. Really, really stunning. Love this whole vibe that you've got going on. Is just super incredible to play with. I'm sad I didn't get more done, but that's, you know, that's an hour. That's enough. Go grab these papers, guys. Say hi to Joey when you grab them and thank him. And have a play because they are just so much fun. Take care. Have a great day. And I'll be back again tomorrow with the monthly Masterboard Challenge. So I hope you'll pop along and check that out. I'll see you then. Bye.